Hi, my name's Elaine Hon, and I'm one of the registered dietitians at Stanford Hospital. I work with patients with diabetes and patients with digestive health concerns. And today, we're going to talk about a really sweet topic, sugar. There are many sugar substitutes that have been hitting the market shelves, and I thought it'd be really fun to dive in and learn a little bit more. It doesn't mean you have to give up regular sugar, but you can experiment with them in coffee and tea or in baking, especially as the holiday season is around the corner. But first, I want to start off with some questions. True or false, does sugar-free mean carbohydrate-free? False. A sugar-free label means that one serving has less than half a gram of sugar. And these days, foods come with a lot of different types of labeling, and they can be very misleading. When you're trying to eat healthy, a package that says sugar-free may seem like a really good option, but just remember, if a food is labeled sugar-free, it does not mean it's carb-free, so make sure you take a look at the nutrition label. Question number 2, how much added sugar is okay to have? And yes, there is a recommendation on that. The American Heart Association recommends limiting added sugar to no more than 6% of calories each day. For most women, that's about 6 teaspoons of sugar. And for men, it's about 9 teaspoons. Now, keeping these recommendations in mind, I want to go over a few options. There are a lot of different sugar products out there, and today I'm going to be covering 3: monk fruit, erythritol, and allulose. I'm not endorsing any of these products, but I want to give you evidence-based information so you can decide if it makes sense for you in your household. So we'll start off with monk fruit. What is it? It's a member of the gourd family, which includes squashes and melons, and it derives from the monk fruit plant. It's a small, round, grown fruit in Southeast Asia. It's been used in China for centuries as a remedy for cough and sore throats and as a sweetener. And as a fun fact, the 13th century Buddhist monks were the first to cultivate this fruit, which is the reason for its name. Yeah. Monk fruit extract is 150 to 200 times sweeter than table sugar and has no calories. When it's used alone, it can have a little bit of a mild bitter aftertaste. So often when you look for monk fruit sweeteners, it's blended with other sweeteners to balance out the taste. Now, it can be used in baking, but it can alter the texture of the food, and it won't give the same caramelization effect. It can be used as a 1-to-1 ratio or a 2-to-1 ratio, depending on the brand. So you'll have to, when you take a look at the sugar, take a look at the instructions on there. Monk fruit can be added to foods and to drinks. Now, if you do use them, you might want to decrease the temperature and increase the baking powder and baking soda if you're baking with it. Now, let's move on to erythritol. What is it? It's a sugar alcohol that occurs naturally in small amounts in certain fruits and vegetables, as well as fermented foods such as wine and soy sauce. It's produced by fermenting yeast with glucose from corn or wheat starch. It is 70% as sweet as sugar, and since erythritol does not break down in the body, it has less calories than many other sugar alternatives. So as a comparison, regular table sugar has 4 calories per gram. Now, erythritol contains just 0.2 calories per gram. One thing to note is that sugar alcohols can cause an upset stomach, but erythritol is a little bit different because most of the erythritol that's consumed never reaches your colon. So the likelihood of having an upset stomach or any gas or that unpleasant feeling is very low when it's eaten in a reasonable amount. So that's a key. Anything eaten in an excess amount can cause an upset stomach. Okay, so how do you use it? Well, it's commonly found in powdered form and can be used in baking or added in coffee and tea. It's one of the largest use is in commercial soft drinks. And finally, we're going to get to allulose. What is this one? It's considered a rare sugar and is present in very small amounts in some fruits, honey, figs, raisins, and wheat. Commercially, this is produced through an enzymatic conversion of a carbohydrate in corn, in sugarcane, beets, and other sources. It is 70% as sweet as table sugar and resembles sugar in the taste and texture. 70% is absorbed in the small intestine and is not metabolized. It leaves the system primarily through the urine, and the other 30% goes to the colon and is excreted in the feces within 24 hours. How do you use it? Also in baking products and added to drinks. Now, with all three of these products, the FDA has deemed them as generally recognized as safe for everyone, including pregnant women and children. So what is the take-home message? The goal of sugar substitutes are to replace or reduce the use of sugar. The three that I mentioned do not raise blood sugar levels or cause an increase in insulin levels. Now, is this something you want to try? It may be useful if you're trying to manage your blood sugars. My overall take on this is if you want something sweet, stick to whole foods like fresh fruits and eat small portions of naturally occurring sugars. But these sugar alternatives can be a good option if you're looking to reduce your overall sugar intake. Thank you.